Welcome back to the Deep Dive. This is where we tackle a huge pile of sources, articles, all that stuff, and basically give you the quickest way to get smart on a topic.
Yeah.
And today, we are diving deep into one specific book, a really influential one, actually. It really changed how people thought about professional education. We're talking about the Personal MBA by Josh Kaufman. Now, when this thing landed back in 2010, the idea was pretty radical.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Forget the huge student loans, forget spending 2 years at university for an MBA. Kaufman said you can teach yourself, and maybe you should teach yourself everything you need for a solid business.
A sustainable, profitable business. That was the core.
Right. But here's the thing. The book's hitting its 15th birthday. And the world. I mean, it's changed so much since 2010. Multiple times over, probably.
It feels like it sometimes, yeah.
So our mission today is pretty simple, really. We need to figure out, is this famous guide still relevant? Like right now in 2025? Or has technology just completely overtaken its methods? Has it expired?
And that's the real question, isn't it? That tension is key to understanding the book today. And that's exactly what we're going to try and unpack for you. Our goal isn't just to, review it. It's more like surgery. We want to pull out the core gold, the timeless business truths.
Okay.
But also be really honest, maybe even ruthless, about identifying which specific tools and methods in there are basically, history now, things that need a serious update.
Yeah, like museum pieces.
Pretty much. We need to figure out how you can leverage Kaufman's foundational thinking, that core mindset, while dealing with this technological revolution that's redefined everything. Not just since 2010, but honestly, even just in the last couple of years.
Okay, so let's start there. Let's go back to 2010.
Right. To really get the book's value, you got to remember what things were like when it came out. Back in 2010, getting a business education, it was mostly locked behind these expensive, time-consuming university gates.
Yeah, the traditional path.
Exactly. Kaufman basically offered an escape route, a way around the high debt, the high barriers to entry. His core message was, look, business success isn't really about super complex theories or, arcane management charts. It's about understanding 5 key systems that repeat.
Okay.
He really pushed the entrepreneurial mindset, can you spot problems and figure out how to solve them profitably? That mattered more than the piece of paper, the credential itself.
And just distilling it down like that was huge back then. Taking maybe decades of MBA stuff and just boiling it down to those 5 famous pillars.
Yeah, the 5 pillars.
Let's just list them again quickly because they're sort of the bedrock for this whole deep dive.
Absolutely. They're crucial.
Okay, so you have to master, first, value creation.
Yeah.
Figuring out what people actually need or want and then making it.
Step 1.
Second, marketing, getting noticed, letting people know you exist.
Crucial.
Third, sales, actually closing the deal, getting paid.
The transaction itself.
Fourth, value delivery. This is about making sure you actually deliver on your promise and doing it well, efficiently.
Keeping the customer happy.
And fifth, finance. Simple, but hard. Making sure more money comes in and goes out consistently.
That's the engine, those 5.
And that simplicity was, like you said, key. In 2010, if you really understood those 5 things, you had a leg up, a big one.
A huge advantage because the world then was still, much more physical. More localized, maybe. E-commerce was there, sure. Yeah. But AI, that was sci-fi stuff, mostly.
Right.
Business thinking often focused on, steady, linear growth. Traditional supply chains. Things felt a bit more predictable, perhaps.
Yeah, it was a world where you could plausibly start something with, like a spreadsheet, a decent idea, maybe a basic website. You didn't necessarily need a data scientist on day one.
Exactly. Or, marketing automation guru. Marketing back then often meant figuring out SEO keywords, maybe some simple online ads.
Or even print, direct mail.
Shockingly, yes. Direct mailers, even cold calling. Value delivery was mostly about getting physical stuff from A to B logistics.
Okay.
So for loads of aspiring entrepreneurs, the Personal MBA felt like this actionable roadmap. Low risk, low debt. It opened doors that seemed locked behind those big university walls. It basically said, smart, focused self-study. That can be enough.
Is that still true? I mean, if the principles are timeless, why can't someone today just grab the 2010 book, learn the 5 pillars, and just, swap Instagram ad for a newspaper ad?
That's the perfect question. And the short answer is, the underlying way the world works has changed too, fundamentally.
Okay.
It's not just swapping one tool for another. It's about a massive shift in efficiency, in customer expectations. The sheer density of technology in 2025 just makes that direct swap well, basically impossible.
Okay, let's get into that. We're jumping from, let's say, the relative calm of 2010
Yeah, calm feels right in retrospect.
into this, like you called it, technological avalanche of 2025, the speed. That's the killer, isn't it? So what specific tech changes have just completely blown the original methods out of the water?
We probably need to look at those pillars again, one by one, to really see the impact. Let's start with, say, marketing and sales. Getting attention, closing the deal.
The front end of the business, okay.
Right. In 2010, marketing was often about casting a wide net. Visibility.
Getting eyeballs.
Yeah. But in 2025, it's all about hyper-personalization. And that's driven by AI. We're not just talking fancy algorithms filtering ads. We're talking generative AI that can whip up like 1,000 versions of personalized ad copy for tiny little micro audiences instantly.
Wow.
The efficiency gain there, it makes the 2010 approach feel like trying to, navigate a city with a paper map when everyone else has live traffic GPS.
Okay, so the actual skill needed by the learner, by you, is totally different. It's less about crafting the perfect general message,
Right.
and more about knowing who your tiny segments are and how to use the data platform to reach them specifically.
Precisely. And that flows right into sales. The original book might have touched on building relationships, maybe even that dreaded cold calling.
Yeah.
Today, sales is basically inseparable from sophisticated CRM systems, customer relationship management.
Right. Salesforce, HubSpot, things like that.
Exactly. Sales teams often don't even make contact until AI has already qualified the lead, tracked their online behavior, maybe even scored their likelihood to buy.
And generated a script for the call.
And populated a perfect outreach script, yeah. The old skill was maybe charisma, persistence. The modern skill, it's more about optimizing the sales pipeline, interpreting data, tweaking the automated sequences.
And that makes a ton of sense for getting customers.
Yeah.
But what about the back end? Value creation, value delivery. Has tech changed those as much?
Oh, absolutely. This is where automation really sinks its teeth in. Value delivery used to mean, physical logistics, maybe a customer support phone line.
Standard stuff.
Now, customer expectations are for instant responses, 24/7 support. This means you absolutely need robust customer experience design, CX design.
Okay, what does that actually mean, CX design?
It means using smart tools to literally map out every single interaction point a customer has with your business. From the very first ad they see, to clicking on your site, to the purchase, to getting help afterwards, every step.
So if a company today is still relying on, say, manual handoffs between departments or slow email replies,
They just can't compete. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Because the standard, the baseline expectation, is set by the fastest, most seamless competitor out there.
makes sense.
The modern delivery system is built for smooth, automated interaction. If your value delivery involves a person manually copying info from system A to system B, you're already behind. Kaufman's concept of delivering value is sound, but the methods he might imply, way too slow, too rigid for today's automated world.
Okay. Marketing, sales, delivery, all massively changed. What about the fifth pillar, finance? Surely profit is still profit, right?
Well, yes and no. The core metrics, revenue, costs, profit, those are timeless. Absolutely. The book's great on that.
Yeah.
But today, the business model itself can be way more complex and often digitally native in ways that just didn't exist then. Think about the huge creator economies now.
Right. YouTubers, Substack writers, influencers.
Exactly. Their business is often based on monetizing attention, building community first. Then you've got things like DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, and the whole world of decentralized finance, or DeFi.
Okay, hang on. DeFi, let's clarify that. How does something like DeFi actually affect, say, a small business owner who isn't actively trading crypto? Is it relevant?
Good question. It can be in two key ways for a small business. First, global transactions. If you're selling digital products or services internationally, traditional banking can be slow, expensive, lots of fees. DeFi can offer near-instant, low-cost, borderless payments.
Okay. Faster, cheaper money movement.
Right. And second, access to capital. DeFi potentially opens up new ways for non-traditional businesses or creators to get funding, maybe through different kinds of lending or crowdfunding, without going through the usual banks or VCs.
So it adds new options, maybe new risks to that finance pillar.
Exactly. It just adds completely new layers of complexity, opportunity, and risk that weren't really on the radar in 2010.
Wow. Okay.
So the bottom line here is pretty clear. The principles Kaufman laid out: value creation, marketing, sales, delivery, finance, still gold. Absolutely essential.
Right.
But the entire toolbox you need to actually do those things, it's been almost completely replaced by this sophisticated digital architecture. AI, automation, data platforms, that's the new toolkit.
Okay, so it sounds like we're saying the foundation is strong, the house is built on rock, but maybe the walls, the wiring, the plumbing, it all needs ripping out and replacing.
That's a pretty good analogy, yeah.
So if you had to write the Personal MBA 2025 edition today, what absolutely has to be in the curriculum for someone learning this stuff now?
Yeah.
What are the non-negotiables?
Well, first off, the book needs to shift focus a bit. Less on just general management ideas and more on specific ways to use digital tools for leverage.
Okay, like what?
First, you absolutely need a deep dive into the impact of AI on how you run the business, operations.
So practical AI stuff.
Exactly. Detailed guidance on using generative AI, think ChatGPT, and similar tools for creating content, emails, maybe even code. Using intelligent automation to handle routine tasks. Using predictive analytics to guess inventory needs or forecast demand. And this isn't just like one chapter on AI. It needs to be woven through all 5 pillars.
Okay, AI embedded everywhere. Makes sense. And you mentioned new business models earlier.
Yeah, that's the second big thing. The simple product service model from 2010, it doesn't really cover the landscape anymore.
Right.
The book would need a major section on understanding the creator economy. So many modern entrepreneurs, their primary asset is their audience, their community, their attention.
Monetizing attention first.
Right. So you need to understand those specific business models, platform fees, subscription loops for content, maybe selling digital goods or NFTs. You have to get that sometimes. Your platform is the product. It's a different way of thinking about value creation.
Totally different. From tangible stuff to intangible distribution and community. Okay, what else?
Third, that thing we touched on, customer experience design, or CX. It needs its own focus.
Beyond just good customer service.
Way beyond. We're talking practical skills. Teaching the learner how to do customer journey mapping, literally plotting out every single touch point. How to use A/B testing to constantly improve the experience. How to use feedback loops super fast. A seamless experience isn't just nice to have anymore, it's table stakes.
Got it. CX design. What's fourth?
And finally, number 4, a massive section on data analysis and fast decision making. Look, in 2025, the quickest way to fail is to be slow. Making decisions based just on gut feeling. Too risky now.
Because your competitors are using data.
Precisely. So the ability to pull data, understand it, synthesize it, and then act on it really quickly. Often we're talking hours or days, not weeks or months. That's mandatory.
What's really striking about that list, AI, creator economy, CX, data, is it feels like more than just adding new technical skills.
Yeah.
It sounds like a fundamental shift in, I don't know, the business philosophy itself.
I think that's exactly right.
It's moving from I built a really good mousetrap to something more like I built a highly optimized digital system that learns and adapts based on user behavior.
That's a perfect way to put it. Today, trying to compete without deeply understanding how to leverage data and automation, it's incredibly hard, maybe impossible in many fields. The core mindset shift is seeing technology not just as a helpful tool, but as the primary engine, the actual operating environment for the whole business.
Okay. Let's try and pull all this together. We've talked about the original wisdom, the massive tech shift, the needed updates. If we synthesize this whole critique, what are the book's lasting strengths?
Yeah.
And where does it just immediately fall short for someone trying to use it in 2025?
Okay, the strengths are clear. Its radical simplicity is still brilliant. Its power to motivate and inspire action, still there. And its effectiveness in teaching you to think systemically about business, those 5 pillars, that's invaluable. It's still probably the best, clearest map of the overall business terrain. If you don't get those 5 pillars, you fundamentally don't get business.
The conceptual map is still accurate.
Exactly. The failure point, though, is just unavoidable. It's a product of its time. The book is rooted in operational methods, examples, and assumptions that are just, well, 15 years old.
Which is ancient in tech years.
It really is. Its focus often leans towards physical businesses, manual processes, traditional marketing that involved a lot more friction. That stuff feels obsolete in a world that runs on AI, personalization, instant digital sales funnels, and automated everything.
Okay, so after digging through all this, what's the final verdict? Is the Personal MBA expired? Should you, the listener, just toss it aside?
My conclusion, it's firm on this. The book itself does not have an expiration date. That conceptual core, the 5 systems, pure gold, timeless. Okay.
Its examples, its methodology, the specific how-to stuff, that's perishable, very perishable. Think of it like it's a perfect map of the mountain range, showing all the peaks and valleys.
Right.
But the recommended hiking path on that map It includes bridges that washed away 10 years ago. You still need the map for the terrain, but you absolutely need modern tools, GPS, satellite imagery to find a safe path today.
Okay, I like that analogy. The map is good, the suggested route is bad.
Pretty much.
So this brings us to the practical bit. The actionable plan for you, listening now. If you want to harness the power of the Personal MBA's mindset today, how do you do it? We think there's a 3-step approach that blends the old wisdom with the new reality. Step 1, grab the book's core principles. Absolutely internalize that mindset of self-study, of thinking systemically about value creation, finance, all 5 pillars. Use the book to build your fundamental business vocabulary.
Get the foundation solid. Step 2, you have to actively, rigorously learn the current tools and technologies, the 2025 toolkit. That means really diving into AI applications, understanding data analysis platforms, mastering the nuts and bolts of digital marketing, CX design, the stuff we just talked about.
You need the modern tools, no way around it.
And step 3, this is key. Redesign and apply the book's core ideas specifically for this digital-first world. So when the book suggests a marketing tactic, you consciously ask, okay, how would AI do the same thing but 100 times faster or more personalized?
Right, or when it talks about value delivery.
You ask, how can I use CX design principles and automation to make this totally seamless, maybe even instant? It's about combining Kaufman's timeless why with the very timely how.
Exactly. Connect the map to the GPS. #tech outro.
So we've really spent this deep dive looking at that split, haven't we? The enduring mindset versus the outdated methods.
Yeah, that's the core tension, and it leads to a final thought. If those fundamental principles of business creating value, managing finance, if they really do remain constant over 15 years,
Yeah.
and it's mainly the tools for delivery and sales that change so drastically because of tech,
Okay.
then I want to leave you with this question to chew on. If AI can automate the analysis, optimize the marketing, execute the delivery, what fundamental human skill becomes the ultimate competitive advantage? The thing that can't be automated in this age of AI and data. Think about that difference between just knowing the how of delivering value efficiently
Right.
versus the essential human insight needed to figure out the why. Why this value for these people right
Yeah.
now? Maybe that distinction is what will really drive success for the next 15 years.